Ryan exposes every course seller in this episode by showing you the scams they use to falsely get to number one status in 24 hours, using every manipulative tactic and trick, just to sell you more shit and take advantage of you. In this episode, you'll learn exactly what to look out for, so you know how to spot the con and avoid being another sucker, handing over money for their fake statuses they buy rather than earn. The one question you must ask yourself is if the guru is a number one Amazon bestseller, or if they claim to show you how to be the number one in 24 hours. This is a scam they are selling because the number one position has lost all of its value and no longer has the credibility it deserves when it's sold or given away in 24 hours or less. Nothing but the truth on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, you'll get nothing but the truth. This offensive and explicit episode covers current issues, trending topics, and more that will punch you in the face with the truth. If you can't handle that, don't listen, because Ryan does not hold back. And if you're up to no good, we're watching.
So let's talk about the get-rich-quick gurus. This is to expose the get-rich-quick gurus, because many of you guys, maybe you know, maybe you don't know what I'm about to share with you, which is, actually someone's nearly just smashed into the side of my car. Oh my God, I'm sitting in my car overlooking Brighton. In the back of the car, the middle console is down on my laptop. All my gadgets, my tech is here, my MacBook, I've got my sparkling water, got my pad, my calculator, my selfie light, and everything else, my bag, and I'm just looking over the Sussex seafront towards the Brighton Marina. I'm sitting nice and high by the racecourse. I'm parked up, it's quite tight, it's a sunny day, and then somebody in their white vehicle has nearly smashed into the side of my car as they've pulled into this gravel car park. And because I'm sitting in the back, like driver style or being driven style, they didn't even notice me, and that's why they got so close. They may have even touched the side of the car. So anyway, just as this episode has started, some fucker nearly smashed into my car, and I can imagine it will probably be like one of those hit and run things like in the supermarket where your car's parked and they come along with a trolley, bam, they smash into the side of your car or let their trolley go, they leave. Sometimes if they're decent people, maybe elderly, they leave a note on the car and say, really sorry, this is what happened. Other times they will just do nothing and disappear. You come out and your car is all scratched down the side. Anyway, that more or less just happened, which makes this a little bit interesting, this episode. So let's get back on track. So, nothing but the truth. This episode, I want to go deep and talk about the fucking get-rich-quick gurus. And I want to shed some light and expose some of the fucking truths that go on behind the scenes in their minds so they can manipulate people to buy courses from them. They can mislead people to think that they're the number one at something. It's just corruption. This is nothing but fraudulent behavior that these motherfuckers should be ashamed of. And all of you guys, after listening to this episode, you deserve more. You deserve to understand to not be hustled anymore by these fuckers who just want to sell you shit. They're probably not even doing these deals or doing the things they claim to have done. They're just very good at marketing to make you guys all believe that they are the best or they are the number one that they claim, just so they can sell you all some more fucking shit, okay? Now, if there was any good at doing what they do and they could show somebody in one day or 1 week or 1 month how to be a fucking millionaire, why would they be selling it to you for that very, very small or reasonable or expensive or, overpriced price tag? So you need to really sit down, have a word with yourself if you're thinking about buying another one of these crap things, these crap courses, these get-rich-quick schemes, or, just being abused by some of these fuckers that are always claiming they are number one. I'm going to share some things right now about number one. So all of you guys will know how to see this con before you get conned so you can make a fucking educated decision, okay? Now, if you want to be conned by these guys, after you've listened to this episode, then you need to invest some of that money in a fucking mindset coach, okay? Because when you understand what is actually really going on, okay, when you actually understand that, it should open your eyes for you to then make a better decision. Are you an investor? Are you taking control of your life and control of your future? Or are you just, like a herded sheep? Just another one being herded and told where to go and what to do and what to buy, because these fuckers will get together and send emails out to all of their lists to promote their own internal things just so those guys can stay at the perceived top and to be the fucking number one. When it's no more than, let me explain how number one works before we go deeper into this, okay? Then I'll tell you a little story about Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, okay, in the Formula One. Now, number one, you should always be wary of anybody who uses that title of number fucking one. And let me explain. Actually, first of all, my intro to my podcast, some of the episodes, but my outro to all of my episodes on this podcast from March or maybe April, as far back as April, a brand new outro we included, which basically says, fuck the number one Amazon bestsellers, fuck the course sellers, fuck the guru, get rich quick, okay? That's in my outro. Now that's in there for a reason, because you guys have had the wool pulled over your eyes, and I don't want this to happen anymore to any of you guys anymore once you've listened to this episode, so you can recognize when somebody is trying to hustle you, and you know how to do some basic check-in to then see if you really actually want to do a deal with these guys, or work with these guys, or trust these guys, or buy anything else from these guys. And if not, ask for a fucking refund from every single thing you've ever bought from these guys by hitting that refund chargeback in your PayPal account or on your credit card if you wake up and realize that they have hustled you, okay? Now, this is how you can tell if you've already been hustled, okay? At least when you know this, then you can avoid being hustled anymore in the future, okay? Now, if you think about it, Amazon number one bestseller. Let's start there. How does someone become a number one Amazon bestseller? Whether it's a fucking book, whether it's a fucking training program, a home study course, it doesn't actually matter what it is that they're number one at, okay? So let's just use number one Amazon bestseller as an example, okay? Now, to be an Amazon number one bestseller, you have to just meet some basic criteria on the Amazon algorithm, okay? Now, the natural way is one way, okay? The natural, organic way. Hats off to everybody who becomes the number one Amazon bestseller as naturally, organically, without manipulating things and leaving their product out there for the test of time. Now that's the difference. The test of time. So the world can consume the product. The world can review the product in their own time. The world can, pass that product on to somebody else by word of mouth or sharing on social media. And then somebody else looks at that product and maybe buys that product. And then that person gets value from it. And then they share their honest opinion. Those things naturally take time, okay? Now, when you think about it on the other side of the coin, that's absolutely fine. The organic and natural way to let the best rise to the top, okay? Now, as you would appreciate, some things have to happen, which is naturally linked to time, before something could be the number one on a particular platform. And right now, we're talking about Amazon. So let me ask you this question. How can any of you trust any of these course sellers, any of these so-called gurus, any of these fuckers trying to sell you some other shit? How could you look in the mirror at yourself again today after this episode and honestly look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, and say that you trust these guys, okay? Because they have sold you something already. They've manipulated you already. They've hustled you already. And you have been conned by these guys already. So you have to question your trust. Can you still trust them? If they've proved to you after listening to this episode that they've lied, they've cheated, they've manipulated you by doing this one thing, and you've bought their product, or you're on their inner circle, or you're on their mastermind group, or you're on their home study course, or you're on their level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mentorship, mastermind, program, scheme, value ladder, bish, bash, bosh, whatever they're calling it these fucking days, okay? When you understand this one thing, you need to have a word with yourself to work out, are you going to go forward with these guys, or are you going to ask for your money back from these guys, or are you just going to understand that you have been hustled, you have been conned, they are fake, they've fraudulently and misled you to get you to the stage to buy some more of their shit, okay? Now, let me explain a little bit further what I mean about hustling the Amazon #1 bestseller. So all of you guys can, look back to see if you have been hustled, conned, scammed, and then make sure that you go into the next room with your eyes wide open, okay? Because somebody who launches a book, okay, now they've probably, most people have a book in them, and it takes years, maybe a decade or decades of experience for somebody to have the experience first of all, and then get that experience and knowledge out of their head, and then execute on the experience that they've used, okay, in the past, so they know that it works for other people or help other people with their experience. Then build the confidence to write a book about that experience or their experiences in their field. And then they will take that to a publisher, okay, or even a ghostwriter. Somebody will sit down with them. It takes a long time. There's a long process. They'll write a book, or a ghostwriter will write a book, and then the publisher will look at the book. Then they'll make some refinements. This goes to and fro, back and forth, takes a reasonable amount of time, as long as it takes to get this done. And then let's say they get to the end stage where they got a finished product, and now they have the draft of the book. Forgetting all the second drafts, third drafts, amendments, everything else, and the images, and the front cover and the back cover, all of that stuff, and then the foreword. Just forget that for the minute. Just assume they've got all of it out of their head, all of the knowledge, all of the experience. It's a decade or even a couple of decades or a life's amount of work. Then the book is produced. Okay? Hardcover. You can now touch the book. The book is tangible. The book goes on Amazon, for argument's sake, for sale. And then the book will naturally sit there, and then people will naturally find it. Then organically, once it's been bought, it will naturally grow. As the sales accumulate, more and more people will rate it, review it, buy it, share it, like it, hate it, not happy about it, maybe not leave a review, maybe leave a negative review. And that process takes as long as that takes, which is not normally in a day or 24 hours or 6 hours or even 3 hours or even 1 fucking hour, which is more or less all it takes today for these fucking idiots, these con men, these fraudsters, these get rich quick gurus that are so fucking insecure. They have to trick you, they have to con you, they have to scam you, they have to hustle you to get this #1 Amazon bestseller status in the first fucking hour. If you're a landlord and you don't know how to increase your rent up to 199% using Booking.com, then you're making a big mistake. Because every £1,000 of rent is now returning £3,000 every single month on Booking.com. And you never have to evict a tenant again. I'm serious. Anyways, I created an ebook. It's called The Rent Arbitrage Machine. So I can show you exactly how you can increase your rent up to 199% on your own rental properties. Just head over to theyrentanyhome.com/free book and just tell me where to send your free copy. Just because they're fucking insecure. Because in their mind, they think if I'm not number one, my work is shit, nobody will buy this shit, and I may as well not bother trying to sell this shit. So they know they need to be number one. They have to be number one. They're craving to be number one. Nothing else even comes close in their mind. Because that's how fucked up and insecure that these fuckers are, because they have to be number one, okay? Just to get the status, even though it's worthless. In the real fucking world, the number one status is absolutely worthless. There is no point in having it today because it's just not valued. It's not appreciated. The hard work has not gone in to achieve that. They haven't earned it. They have not earned it. How can you fucking earn to be positioned at number one on Amazon for your book or whatever crap it is that they're trying to sell you? How can that happen in 24 hours? How can you earn that in 1 day? How can you earn that in 6 hours? How can you earn that in 1 hour, which some people are achieving right now? 1 fucking hour of releasing your thing, your book, and then you're number one, and that's it. They've got the title, and now forever, they are the number one. That's fucking bollocks. Let me explain why that's bollocks. Let me explain about how they do it. Because now you know that they're just con men. Now you know that they're insecure. Now you know they're tricking you. Now you know they're hustling you. Now you know they've lied to you. And now you know that they're manipulating and will continue to manipulate you because they have no fucking values about, well, they just have no fucking values. Look at what they're doing to get people to buy their shit. They've got no fucking values, okay? So, this is how it works. The Amazon number one bestseller. All these guys are doing, let me give you another example, actually. You've seen this for yourself. You've seen this for yourself, because who do you know out there in the marketplace right now who's selling a course on, let's say, podcasting? How to be a podcaster. And then if you pay for their higher tier package, okay, probably around about $199, and it will have to end in a 7. So somewhere around $1997 or $2997. May see it as low as $997 if they're not that well known, okay? And then for a higher tier package, they guarantee that they will get you to be number one on the Apple charts. Has anybody listening right now heard of any podcasting course for sale? Anybody selling a podcast course where they actually guarantee that you will be number one, or they'll show you the tactics, the tricks for you to get to number one in the rankings? That should be ringing alarm bells. That's red rag to a bull. So many of you guys have seen that. I don't need to mention their names, but you will have seen those guys making that offer, okay? Also, to become an Amazon number one bestseller at, obviously, publishing or releasing a book or a home fucking study course. Have any of you guys seen anybody saying, this is my program, this is what's for sale, and they'll show you how to be a number one Amazon bestseller, or they will guarantee that they will get you with their training to be the Amazon number one bestseller? Have any of you guys seen anybody that is selling or making an offer like that? Has anybody seen anyone selling courses on how to sell courses or how to run courses for course sellers, for the people that want to buy the courses? Courses on selling courses about courses. Anybody? Anybody recognize those guys or seen them around the circuit selling some more shit and claiming to be number one at this and the number one best-selling at that, and the number one author at this, and the number one in the UK at that. All of those fuckers that have got those accolades in that short space of time, some it's 1 hour, some it's 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, so one day. You can tell for yourself, it takes a very long time to naturally and organically become the number one at anything, okay? Let me just have a quick sip of my sparkling water. Leave that bit in, Adam. I like that, so you don't need to edit that out. Just leave it natural. Okay, so you guys know who I'm talking about. You've seen them. And so the next time you see them, you understand this. Or if you've already paid them some money, you need to have a good look at yourself in the mirror, have a word with yourself to say you will never buy any of their shit ever again because they fucking lied to you. And they will continue lying to you. If they've lied about that, what else have they lied about, okay? What else have they lied about? So they don't care about you or give a fuck about you. They're just lying to you to pull the wool over your eyes. So you do what? Buy more of their shit, okay? So they have an email list, okay? They've built up an email list, or they've bought an email list, or they borrow their friend's email list, okay? Like list swapping. So they know somebody else who's got a list the same as theirs or bigger. One mails for somebody, the other one mails for the other one. One has a product being launched, the other one mails for him, and then he then mails and returns a favor to the other guy or the other company or the other call seller when they're launching their next product, okay? So that means they double the capacity of their list for that particular moment, right? Now this is what they do. On the certain day, at the certain time, you will see it for yourself. You will be bombarded with fucking emails in your inbox, maybe even text messages, and then adverts on Facebook, and then Instagram adverts, and then posts on LinkedIn, and then something here, something there, something there, something there, all at the same time. Now, they will say to you, here's my book, just being released on Amazon. You can buy my fucking book. They don't say fucking book, sorry. That's just me expressing myself here. With this lovely view in the background, sitting in my car, in the back, like chauffeur-driven, laptop, MacBook, Rode mic, 2 phones, selfie light with the lovely views of Brighton Marina. I'm up on the hill, high at the racecourse, looking over, okay? So, just to give you some context. Okay, so then you'll see their emails where they're asking people to buy my book on this particular website. Now, if you go to the one particular website, they will say, you can buy my book here for $19.95, okay? Just on Amazon, wherever it is, okay? Or, if you buy my book through this link, the book will be £4.97, and you'll get this training program worth $500 or $497, and you'll get this other program worth $1997, and you will get an invite to this particular event, discovery event, or taster day, or whatever these fuckers call it these days. So you'll also get this, but all you need to do to get that £5,000 worth of value for free when you buy it through my link, not Amazon, is you have to buy it on this particular day, and sometimes they'll drill it down to a certain window of time. Have you ever seen any of these emails? Oh, look, there's a guy on a motocross bike, a tiny little mini one coming along. He's a man on a tiny little kid's bike. That is sick. So, have you ever seen any of these emails? And I think most of you right now will already be nodding your head. You'll already know who the guilty culprits, the guilty people are that use these tricks. You already know who they are, okay? So you're already bobbing your head thinking, oh my God, this company did that to me. That company is doing that to them. This is how I bought that thing on that day at that hour. I wondered why I had to buy it between this time and this time. I wondered why they gave me all of these things for free when it was on Amazon for 20 quid. And I bought it for fucking 99p. and I got £5,000 worth of value on some other products. Wonder why that was, okay? This is the fucking reason why. This is the fucking light bulb moment. This is the fucking money shot. This is what you've all been waiting for, okay? Because when they force you into buying that product in or on that link at that particular time, do you know what it does?
Make sure you've subscribed, because tomorrow you'll get Show Me the Money on Wednesday. If you have a deal right now and you don't know the best way to structure it, if you post a deal in the community group on Facebook called Property Crash Course, Ryan will help you unlock hidden profits and save you from locking yourself into a loss on those bad deals that every property sourcer wants you to buy.
It's a basic scam. It's a basic fraud. It's a basic trip. It's just basic misleading. It's just basic corruption. That if Amazon gets a certain amount of transactions, purchases, if Amazon gets a certain amount of transactions and purchases in a short period of time, their algorithm says, hello, this must be of interest because lots of people are buying it. So let's move it up the rankings, okay? And then it also looks at, hold on a minute, this book has also not only been bought, it's also had X, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 reviews, all in the space of 24 hours or 12 hours or 6 hours or 3 hours or even 1 fucking hour. So not only is it being bought multiple times quickly, it's also being rated and reviewed with some great reviews and ratings all within a short space of time. So what are we going to do? This is Amazon speaking. Amazon moves it further up the ranks. It's basically like an auction site. It's like a scoreboard. How many reviews has that book had in that short space of time, and how many people have bought that book in that short space of time? It's very simple. It's like a fucking Excel logical test, an if statement. All of you fuckers here in business know about what an if statement is in Microsoft Excel? Of course you do. If this happens, do this. So, the if here is, if this particular product that this get-rich-quick guru is selling you, conning you guys with, has more purchases than the one at number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and if this fucking get-rich-quick guru course seller is selling you or offering you has had more reviews than number 2 on Amazon, at number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, then, this is the if, then this product, this so-called guru, this guy who's manipulated you, this guy who's tricked you, this guy who's scammed, or girl who's scammed you by being, or claiming to be, or, well, not even claiming to be, by telling you to buy at this link at a certain time, on a certain day, on a certain week, on a certain month, on a certain fucking minute, to get all of these bonuses for free, it means that Amazon will put them naturally at position number 1. This is the scam. How can anybody be in the market long enough for the market to decide, because the market is the market? How can anyone have that decision to be number 1 in a fucking day, or in a fucking week, or in a fucking hour? There's nothing but skullduggery. It's nothing but fucking fraud. It's nothing but fucking manipulation. It's nothing but fucking con men being smart to con all of you fuckers out of your money, so you can give them more of your hard-earned cash so they can sell you more shit. Because 1, they're insecure, and 2, they're just fucking scamming you. That's it. So anybody who tries to sell you anything, who claims to be the number 1, just so you guys know, this podcast has naturally, over the course of the last 14, 15, 16 months, risen to the highest position of number 11. I'm happy with that, because it's naturally grown and grown and grown and grown month on month, naturally, to now be at number 11 with no fucking gurus on the podcast. We had no guest interviews before we reached number 11, okay, guys? So, just had to add that there because you may be thinking, well, hold on a minute. What about your podcast? What about what position you're at? Are you claiming to be number one? All you need to do is ask yourself this question. When was the product they are selling you launched? And how long did it take for that product since the launch day to be at number one? If it's on the first fucking day, you've been hustled and scammed. If it's on the first fucking week, you've been hustled and scammed. Even if it's in the first fucking month, you've been hustled and scammed. These things, great things, take time to rise to the top. Any of these fuckers using the tricks and tactics to manipulate you to get their shit to be number one so they can sell you more shit, you need to have a look in the mirror, have a fucking word with yourself, so you tell yourself to stop being a mug and buying their shit, okay? Because they're stealing the place from somebody else who have spent, I don't know, their whole fucking life getting their own book out of their head from their experiences. That's a fucking 2 decades. And then maybe another decade to get it out of their head and onto paper, and then for it to be published, and then for it to be a book, and then however long it takes after that for it to become a number one bestseller. How about a number one fucking New York Times bestseller? Or through a fucking proper publisher. Not on the fucking internet, okay? Not on the fucking internet. Because all that does is robs the place of the person that's put their life's worth of work there to be number one. They've just robbed their position, okay? Now, the story I wanted to tell you about Lewis Hamilton, okay? And Nico Rosberg. Because I could go on and on and on about that for so long, I'm probably going to save that for its own podcast. So, the takeaway from here, you just need to be aware of these tricks that these so-called gurus are using, they've used on you, and they will continue to hustle you and deceive you. So just be more mindful the next time you've seen an advert, or the next time you see the number one. Be fucking wary when you see number one, okay? Be wary when you see number one. And just ask the question, when was this product launched? And how long before you were number one? But many of you guys will know the answer to that. Because right now they're still claiming, buy my shit or buy my new course, and it's this much. Pay for this VIP package and I will guarantee or show you how to be number one on the fucking launch day. Or by the next day of the launch. That's when you know that you've been scammed. That's when you know that they're hustling people now. They will hustle you. They will continue to hustle and deceive people. How can you trust any of these guys ever again if you've ever bought something from them? You need to have a good, long, hard look in the mirror and make a decision. Are you going to still support these people for these people to still sell more shit to the newbies, to the guys just coming into the market, to the people just getting started that have all of their savings or maxed out their credit cards to get going because they've been promised this path of gold because this person clearly on the pedestal has everything, looks like they have everything, they're number one at everything, so they must be the best bet. This is all it's doing is hustling the next generation, the younger generation. And what these new guys find that can handle this when they lose their money is they've just wasted a fortune. They've just wasted a fortune of their money, and it's very unlikely they're going to get any results. And they only went with that company or that person or that investor or that team or that group of people because they had the number one status. Fuck them. You need to wake up. Tell everybody about this. Tell all of your friends. Tell them the signs to look for. Tell them it's not possible. Tell them the number one has to be earned. Tell them to question every time they see a number one. And definitely avoid every single company out there who claims to get you to be number one at anything. Whether it's a podcasting course they're selling. Whether it's a fucking book they're selling. Whether it's something on Amazon to be an Amazon number one bestseller. Whether it's a fucking... It doesn't actually matter what it is. You get the gist. Anyway, share this with somebody that you don't want to be ripped off. Share this with anybody on social if you've already been ripped off by these guys in the past. Share this if you think it's wrong what these guys are doing. Share this if you want to protect or prevent somebody else getting hustled by these guys. Share this if you think that this episode will bring value to anybody starting out in their career, further down the line in their career, anybody wanting to get started in business, in entrepreneurship. Share it with anybody because you have a duty to spread this word so everybody behind you doesn't make the same mistakes you have. So everybody behind you, everybody on your list, everybody on your platform, everybody on your social account, share this with every single fucking one of them because they would love to hear this so you can stop these people being hustled. It's that simple. If you have any morals, any values, any duty to yourself, if you're a good, decent human being, you need to tell everybody you can about this because this shit is real. This shit is happening. This shit is going on all over the internet. And it's about time that you stood up to be counted, to make sure that other people who may not even have the money, who haven't got the experience, who haven't really been in the game, they're just getting started, or they don't know anybody and they just look and think that these guys are number one because it says number one, but they've tricked the system, they've hustled the system, and it ends up with these guys losing all of their money or losing, any confidence or any faith in, doing something real and creating, something because they've just literally followed the herd because they thought that these people were number one. That's not right. Share it with anybody that you think will get value from listening to this episode.
He's a number one Amazon bestseller. He's an NLP manipulator. He's a property course seller. He's a Lamborghini driving multi-millionaire property guru. Forget that same old boring I am me narcissistic podcast format because nobody gives a fuck. This podcast is all about you. So I'm taking these few seconds to thank you for subscribing, to thank you for leaving your 5-star reviews, and thank you for sharing this show with all of your friends. My team and I will keep bringing you these episodes and answering all of your burning questions in my Facebook community group called Property Crash Course. If you can just keep telling all of your friends about this show.